Just starting in next 1 minute. Hello friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Sangam Agarwal and I welcome you all on behalf of Association of Profession. In this session, friends, as you all know that we all are somehow very much occupied in our professional work, might be for the tax audit, ITRs, company audit, or GST audit, annual return. So there are many things are in this month due. So somehow still we have planned this today's session and try to cover some queries of our professional friends so that whatever queries they have facing during their uh, working hard schedule, so we can try to solve that. So friends, apart from that, today we have CA Chaudhary ji, who is our mentor. Here join us, and our dear friend CA Sunny Goel, and our one of the friend Francis is also here. He is a member of AOP, and join us in today's session. Friends, firstly, friends, I would like to inform you that last week we have some organized some sessions for you. Last week we have organized two sessions for you. One session is basically conducted by CA Rajesh Kumar Khandelwal ji from Faridabad. He had discussed GST 9 and 9C. He had discussed GST 9 and 9C with the help of Excel. He basically prepared complete 999C in the Excel format, and it teaches how we can fill the figures in table 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In which situation which figure will come. So it is very important session. I request you all the members, those who are watching us through this platform, kindly see our that session. It is available on our YouTube channel in the name of CS Sangam Agrawal. And I also share the material in the comment section. You can also download such Excel file in the comment section. And friends, truly speaking, by using that Excel, it becomes very easy to compile your work. Because somehow, whenever we are filling the information at GST portal, it is taking too much time to do reconciliation. Better to do such reconciliation at that Excel and just copy paste figure in your 9 and 9C. It will really very helpful for you to filling the form online, and it will also use the less bandwidth of the GST portal. From last 10 days, we are facing that whenever we are opening GST portal, at that time it is showing the error you are in a queue and portal is hanging up and this kind of issue are coming. So I request my all the friends and all the members, those who are watching through this platform. So friends, we should not open the portal for all the time. We should prepare our data first and then put the open for a few minutes and put the data there. It will really very helpful for work for all. We cannot expect the government to maintain such platform which will be accessible by all the professionals at the same time. So by doing working through that Excel, it will be very easy and useful for all of us to do our work in a best possible manner and using the less bandwidth of the GST portal. And friends, apart from that, we have conducted one more session with CA Advocate Kapil Goyalji. He had discussed about the search, seizure, and survey in the latest development, including the case law and some do's and don'ts. So, friend, he's in this session. He had discussed what kind of what is the meaning of survey, in what are the powers of the department, and what are the do and don'ts during this survey and search. So, friends, in this session, we have concluded 2 and 3 points. First point is that we should hire a good chartered accountant and come accountant who can maintain your books very clean and timely manner, so that whenever you have a search and survey, at that point of time, you can explain the things in a very easily manner. Second part is that never try to surrender anything during search and season, because somehow that surrender amount will make against you in future, like they can impose a penalty on that also. So many things are there. Although Chaudhary sir has a very good exposure of handling penalty matter during such seizure and survey. So as per Kapilji advised that we should try to have a good accountant, maintain our accounting in the best possible manner, hire a good chartered accountant. Apart from that, don't try to surrender in the pressure of the officer come at your premises, and always try to take and help of the professionals whenever you are dealing, especially in the search matters. So these are some of the crux of the complete session. But such session is available at the our YouTube channel. You can watch the session there. So friends, as we all know that 31st October is last date for filing tax audit report, and 30th November is last date. 30th November is last date of filing income tax return. So today's session become important for all of us to for tax audit point of view mainly. So somehow we are also approaching the government for extension date. Last time we have right to CBDT also, and we have also right to the CBIC GST Council also for the extension of date. And in similar fashion, this time also somehow we are approaching the government for extension, because this due date of tax audit report is something which is very unreasonable, because due to COVID, maximum time offices are closed. Even yesterday, our honorable Prime Minister also said that still impact of COVID-19 is not over. So we should take the precautions and try to minimize uh, our activities. Therefore, somehow it is essential for extension of tax audit. And apart from that, recently CBDT and Ministry of Finance had amended the Form 3CA 3CD. In that, some new clauses were added. Still, the utility is not available at the income tax portal. Therefore, and henceforth, it is a very high chances that department soon will get the extension of the tax audit report. Might be he is taking some time from taking the approval from the election commission, because as we know that there is a election in the Bihar and other states. So somehow approval of the election commission is also required. So we are expecting soon. Later we are getting the extension from the tax audit report. So let's wait. We all are waiting for that. Until that time, I request our all the members and all the friends kindly continue doing the work at the same pace. Don't lose your and drop your pen, and don't lose your speed, so that at least push some work you will complete it. So with this note, I start at today's session. So firstly, as we do generally, we take all the queries of a participant. Thereafter, we discuss some important point. And today we will discuss some key issues in tax audit report. So before going that, I request our members, Sunny ji and Francis ji are there, and Chaudhary sir is also there. So if any member have any kind of doubt, any kind of question, they can share their question. We will revert that. Thereafter, we will start a common session. Yeah, Sunny ji, do you have any question to discuss?
Yes, I have related to Income Tax Act. I have few questions.
Yeah. First, Chaudhary is there, our income tax expert.
That's very good. Yeah. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Question is something that related to cash deposit of one of a person. He has deposited in one of his current account. He has deposited cash, and which amounts to rupees more than 2 crores. But now the problem is which he is facing. He was not aware that this cash for this cash deposit he might receive some notice and all, because now through this compliance notice or through online survey, they are receiving notice through SFT report that you have deposited this much of amount and withdrawal also from your account, but you are not file your return. So how to take up this? Because see, the question is that for 1 year we have fulfilled the requirement. Whatever notice we have received, we have fulfilled it and we have filed the return. But now, due to unawareness, and the person was under this impression that he is doing the business of agriculture product, so he is not required to file return. So he has not, shown it in his return. So how to, how as a professional should we accept the tax audit? How to do it, sir? How to take up this challenge? Okay. Because he has not maintained the books of accounts. Nothing is there. Only bank statement is available. So how we can?
So Sunny, total cash deposit is more than 2 crore, or it is less than 2 crore, or exactly 2 crore?
It is somewhere near to 2 crores or more than, I think 2 crore 15-20 lakhs is there, and few RTGS transactions are also there. But okay, the business which he is doing is of agriculture goods, on which GST is not there,
and somehow his SSC is comfortable to provide us the bills and purchase bill, sale bill, this kind of information?
Purchase bills for those items, purchase bills can't get those.
Okay.
This is something that he purchases from the open market and sells it straight away. So no purchase bill, nothing is there.
Okay. So Sunny, as far as I understand this case, because somehow documentation are very weak and a full-time accountant were not involved in the accounting and all. So it is very, very difficult to do the tax audit in this case. And somehow if we do tax audit, a huge liability will come on chartered accountant. Okay. So in this case, somehow we can prefer the route of section 44 AD, in which somehow if we manage this turnover up to 2 crore, then we are eligible to file section return in 44 AD. And in that case, we are not required books of accounts, and somehow liability will not come on, whose liability will not come on the SSC as well as chartered accountant. So firstly, we should try to avoid tax audit because books are not maintained in a proper manner. And now I think as there is a lack of documents, it is not practically possible to prepare proper books of accounts. So until next proper books of accounts are not available, we should avoid tax audit.
But we can mention in tax audit that only bank statement is available.
Somehow you will prepare a balance sheet. Somehow you will prepare a bank profit and loss account.
We can prepare. I think that we can prepare. No issues at all.
That's fine. That's fine. But you will sign on that balance sheet, that profit and loss account. But only in 3CD you will explain some observations. So if you are signing some balance sheet, that show majority of things are clean. Try to understand. If you rely that if you are preparing a balance sheet on that majority of items are clean, there is one or two exceptions are there, but non-availability of purchase bill and sale bill. This is one of the major things which cannot be avoided, and we cannot sign the audit report based by saying that we don't have the purchase bill and sale bills. At least on sample basis we should have. And in case of agriculture, there is lots of things which you need to check because somehow agriculture income are not liable to GST and somehow not liable to income tax also. So therefore, both the department are very keen to check the documents of their records. So it will be a huge liability on the chartered accountant if he sign the balance sheet.
Okay.
Therefore, it is advisable to file the return in 44 AD and try to minimize the compliances.
And if the turnover is more than 2 crores, then?
Yeah, in that case, we also faced this kind of situation in past. Try to manage that. Actually, the word is there in the gross receipt. If we read the section is 44 AD, the word is gross receipt. So gross receipt doesn't involve the advances part. Okay. So somehow, if you can manage that, some payment we have received which is belong to the advances for the next financial year and include such advances duly accounted for in the next financial year 2021, then by doing that, somehow we can manage the turnover up to 2 crores.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is not recommended to go for tax audit.
Yeah. As far as my understanding, Chaudhary sir will also put some light over this topic.
Actually, if the turnover is over 2 crore, then you have no alternative but to go for tax audit. If it is less than 2 crore, then 44 AD is okay. Then the second question is how we evidence the transaction. So that is a question of fact, because the money has been deposited in a bank account. So there must be proper receipts there. So he must have arranged some sale transaction and all that. Then you say that purchase transaction is that bills are not available. So it is not only a bill, because if you can trace down the transaction, you can always say that it is customary in this agriculture not to give any type of bill or whatever, or he can obtain the bills from the seller from whom he has purchased the goods now. So whatever is the situation, so in audit you have to clarify that this is the situation and it is not something that you'd hide something.
So we can say if we are going for tax audit, then we have to mention in our comments that
Facts.
these are the facts that bills or
These are the facts.
I think we'll not go for that. We don't have the bills available or something like that, but we'll try to mention in a manner that to safeguard the client or to to comply with the provisions also. We will say that everything is there, and on suo moto, client is filing the return.
I think you have to safeguard yourself first and then client.
Exactly.
So that you have to see. So and what is available and what is not available is a question of facts. So you have to first try to obtain whatever is available and whatever can be arranged. It is not something that supposing he has not taken the bills, so he can take the bill now. He can take a certificate that I have purchased so much amount from you,
Chaudhary sir, in
so
Sunny's
much
case, currently also
quantity,
client
so
is
much.
not comfortable to arrange the bills. Am I right, Sunny?
He's not comfortable. Yes. He
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
be able to
But
because
sir,
he's purchasing the good from open market, like
So then
the
you will have to
agriculture,
mention that.
the agriculture
Huh?
produce that comes into the market. So when we see the mandi type of things in these markets, you don't get bills. You just see the goods. If you find it, if you find the quality okay, you say okay, I want to purchase it, and you just straight away purchase and sell it. So that's how it goes. So
Sunny, in that case, payment is made in cash only,
cash only,
purchasing.
yes. Total,
There is
total.
no RTGS, no NFT.
No, not at all. Because the other person, he doesn't have this. They might not be having the bank account, or they are not comfortable in dealing the bank transactions. They say, sir, cash do, हमें तो अपना काम करना है.
Or in this case, client has a agricultural land in his name.
He has what?
Does he has agricultural land on his
No.
name?
He's doing trading business.
Okay, trading business. Okay.
Yeah. He's purchasing from the open market, and this is a normal policy. This is not something new. Every farmer type of thing, the farmer comes in the market. There are few markets in Delhi and in other places where they come with their agriculture produce and they sell in the open market.
And
So
Sunny,
here,
this kind of business is going on from the past also and doing in current financial year also.
In the
Yeah,
past,
only in that particular financial year only.
past also.
Past also. Okay. This was कुछ कह रहे थे आप?
he has deposited this much money and he has withdrawn also.
He is withdrawn also, sir.
How much?
Say
For purchases, he must have withdrawn the money. No?
yes, he has withdrawn also. Say 90% of the cash deposited he has withdrawn also. And then few transactions he has received in RTGS as well as he has made in RTGS also.
So, as Odessa said that if turnover is
Hello?
more than 2 crores rupees, in that case, we don't have any other option other than doing tax audit. And somehow, firstly, we try to safeguard ourselves by mentioning all the if and buts in the observation column, and then accordingly we can do the tax audit.
Okay. And what about the interest which we have paid on GST late filing? Suppose
It
we
is
have
allowed.
paid, it is allowed in
It is
Income Tax
allowed.
Act.
Yes, it is allowed.
And the GST which we have paid, suppose 65,000 was the interest and 1 lakh was through DRC 3 we have paid. Now it is showing on electronic ledger. So do we have to do anything in this also?
Yes.
We have
Yes.
to adjust it.
Yes. Yes.
How to what?
Yeah. Yeah. Suppose you have suppose I'm taking example. There is a movement of your vehicle, and it is captured by some GST officer. Okay, and in that case, he fine you, impose some penalty over you, impose a penalty over you.
Okay.
Penalty. In that case, you are required to deposit the challan with the officer. Then the confiscated goods can be released.
Right.
मतलब जो भी उन्हें गुड्स आपके पकड़े होते हैं उनको वो चालान देके छोड़ देते हैं. तो उस केस में क्या करना है आपको, जो आपको कैश लेजर में आपको पहले अपने नेट बैंकिंग से टैक्स जमा कराना है आपको. ओके, ये तो एक पार्ट हो गया. उसके बाद DRC 03 भरना है आपको, और जो कैश लेजर में जो बैलेंस है आपका उसको यूटिलाइज करना है उस पेनल्टी के अगेंस्ट. ओके, जब आप DRC 3 भरते हैं तो उसपे बहुत सारे ऑप्शन आते हैं. GST 9, 9C का, वॉलंटरी पेमेंट का, ऐसे 8-10 ऑप्शन आते हैं। तो उसमें एक वॉलंटरी का ऑप्शन होता है, तो ऐसी वाली चीजें वो वॉलंटरी में आ जाएगी। और कोई टैक्स आप जमा कर रहे हो और GST 9 की वजह से, तो वहाँ पे एनुअल रिटर्न 9 का ऑप्शन होता है बेसिकली। तो आप उसको एनुअल, पहले तो आप नॉर्मल उसको जमा करा दो कैश लेजर के अंदर। तो आपको कैश लेजर में जमा नहीं कराना, तो आपको जो क्रेडिट का अमाउंट है, आप उसको भी यूज कर सकते हो DRC 3 फाइल करने के लिए। ओके, तो आपने क्या किया कि जैसे आपने क्योंकि उससे क्या होगा, अदरवाइज आपका वो अमाउंट ना कैश लेजर में क्रेडिट में पड़ा रह जाएगा। तो फ्यूचर में जैसे आपको आज पता है, कल को आप नहीं हो, कोई और अकाउंटेंट काम कर रहा है, वो उसको यूज कर लेगा। तो डिपार्टमेंट ने वो DRC 3 लेके इसलिए आए हैं कि आपने जो जमा कराया उसको यूटिलाइज दिखाने के लिए आप DRC 3 को यूज करेंगे। क्लियर है?
मतलब अभी उसको जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक लेजर में वो दिख रहा है,
हाँ,
उसको मेरे को
DRC 3 भर के आपको इसको यूटिलाइज करना पड़ेगा।
DRC 3 तो भर चुके हैं ना हम, उसका भरने के बाद ही तो वो शो हो रहा है उसमें।
नहीं, भरने के बाद तो वहां से डेबिट हो जाएगा ना, वो खत्म हो जाएगा वहां से।
तो उस पे दिख रहा है अभी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक लेजर में।
नहीं, मैं आपको क्या है, सपोज करो आपका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक बैलेंस था 50,000 रुपए का। ओके, आपको 40,000 रुपए टैक्स पे करना था आपको, उसके लिए आपने DRC 3 भरा आपने। जैसे आप DRC 3 भरोगे, तो जो आपका बैलेंस था 50 का, वो 40 से कम होकर 10 का बैलेंस बच जाएगा आपका।
मैंने क्रेडिट के थ्रू नहीं भरा ना, हमने तो बैंक के थ्रू भरा था उसको, थ्रू कैश भरा है मतलब।
हाँ, कैसे? जब आपने DRC 3 भरा, तो उस समय आपने कैश क्रेडिट नहीं यूज करके सीधा नेट बैंकिंग से पेमेंट कर दिया आपने।
बैंकिंग से पेमेंट करिए।
हाँ, तो उस केस में क्या है, आपका जो कैश लेजर में बैलेंस दिखा रहा है 40,000 रुपए का वो वाला,
हाँ,
जो आपको जमा करना था, आपको अब DRC 3 दोबारा भरना पड़ेगा आपको, जो कि वो कैश का लेजर के बैलेंस पे यूटिलाइज करना पड़ेगा।
अच्छा, आप उसको DRC 3 को उस कैश बैलेंस उसके अगेंस्ट में एक और एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा उसको। अदरवाइज क्या होगा, वो कैश में हमेशा खड़ा रहेगा, वो कभी यूटिलाइज नहीं होगा, वो आपको बैलेंस ईयर टू ईयर दिखाता रहेगा आपको। एक बार DRC 3 भर देंगे आप। देखो, पहले पता प्रैक्टिकली कैसे करना चाहिए हमको, हमको पहले अपने बैंक अकाउंट से कैश लेजर में बैलेंस अपलोड करना चाहिए। अपलोड से मेरा मतलब है जमा करना चाहिए, और उसके DRC 3 भर के उसको यूटिलाइज करना चाहिए। दिस इज एक्चुअल मेथड ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शन, हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए।
और जब हम उसको कैश लेजर में जो हम उसको ट्रांसफर करने की बात करेंगे, तो उसमें कौन सा ऑप्शन चूज करना चाहिए हमें, जो हम
वो
नेट
सेम पहले
बैंकिंग।
वाला ही, जब आप जो नहीं, जब हम DRC 3, देखो जब क्या होता है, जब हम चालान क्रिएट करते हैं GST के कैश लेजर बैलेंस डालने के लिए, उसमें आपसे कुछ नहीं पूछता कि क्यों करना है आपको, बस आप चालान क्रिएट में जाएंगे, आपसे SIC पूछेगा, वो सिलेक्ट करके आप जमा कर दो, नेट बैंकिंग पे कर दो, कोई नहीं पूछेगा आपसे। जब आप DRC 3 से उसको सेटअप करेंगे, तब पूछेगा आपको कि कौन से सेक्शन में और कौन सी पेमेंट के अगेंस्ट आपको एडजस्ट करना है। तो वहां पे जो आपका बनता है, वो 9 बनता है आपका, या फिर आपका कोई पेनल्टी का जो भी बनता है, मतलब वो आप सिलेक्ट करके उसको सबमिट कर देंगे।
ओके, तो मतलब अभी फिलहाल कुल मिला के वो एक तरह से लेजर में दिख गया है। सो इट इज एज गुड एज की वी हैव ट्रांसफर्ड इट टू आवर लेजर, नाउ वी हैव टू एडजस्ट इट ओनली।
यस 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 यस
एडजस्टमेंट इज पेंडिंग।
यस।
राइट राइट।
कोई क्वेश्चन दीजिए आपका?
पूछता रहूंगा, आप
ठीक है,
कंटिन्यू करो।
हमारे साथ एक नए मेंबर है ब्रजेश शाह जी। ब्रजेश शाह जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है इस सेशन के अंदर। सो मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, आप अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को और अपना क्वेश्चन पूछिए।
हेलो।
हेलो।
हाँ सर, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन था, कंपनीज एक्ट में हम जो बैलेंस शीट साइन करेंगे,
हाँ,
तो उस बैलेंस शीट का डेट 30 सितंबर के बाद हो सकता है,
ठीक है।
तो दैट विल हैव एनी इम्पैक्ट ऑन माय AGM as well as between the two financial statement signing
ओके,
का इम्पैक्ट?
ओके सर, हमारे साथ हमारे एक्सपर्ट जेके चौधरी जी हैं इस टॉपिक को डिस्कस करने के लिए, बिकॉज रिसेंटली इन्होंने इसकी बहुत R&D की थी, और
हाँ
एक
सर।
क्वेरी और आई थी हमारे बैंगलोर से हमारे पास, उस पर सर ने रिवर्ट भी किया था, तो सर अच्छा एक्सप्लेन कर पाएंगे इस क्वेश्चन को।
यस
और
सर।
यू सर।
इसमें क्या है, जो बैलेंस शीट यू कैन साइन आफ्टर 30th सितंबर। सुन रहे हैं आप?
हाँ सर, सुन रहा हूँ। यस सर।
ब्रजेश,
हाँ सर।
तो ऐसा है, ये बैलेंस शीट ना 30 सितंबर के बाद साइन हो सकती है। इसमें जो बेसिकली है, एक जनरल एक्सटेंशन दी गई है AGM के लिए।
करेक्ट।
तो नॉर्मली AGM जो है वो 6 months फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ अकाउंटिंग ईयर के बाद में करनी होती है, जिसकी की एक्सटेंशन दी गई है आपको 31 दिसंबर तक।
यस सर।
उसके अलावा एक क्लॉज और है इसमें कि आपको जो पिछली एजीएम है
हाँ सर,
उसके 15 महीने के अंदर आपकी वो करनी होती है एजीएम।
करेक्ट सर,
तो वो 15 महीने से अब एक्सटेंशन हो गया, 18 महीने हो गई है।
करेक्ट सर,
तो अगर आपकी एजीएम पिछले वाली 30 जून के बाद हुई है, जो 2019 की है,
हाँ
तो
सर,
आपको जो रेलेवेंट डेट है वो 31 दिसंबर 2020 है।
करेक्ट,
और अगर आपकी एजीएम जो है जून से पहले हुई है लास्ट ईयर, तो आपको जैसे 15 जून को हुई है तो आपकी डेट आएगी 15 दिसंबर।
करेक्ट,
और जो आपकी एजीएम की डेट है उससे 21 दिन का नोटिस देना होता है। एक दो दिन, 2-3 दिन जाने आने में लगते हैं, तो हम 25 दिन लगाते हैं नॉर्मली।
यस सर,
तो 25 डेज पहले की बैलेंस शीट साइन होनी चाहिए।
करेक्ट सर।
तो दैट इज द।
तो विजय जी, अब आप क्या प्लान कर रहे हैं? आप किस डेट में अपनी
नहीं
एजीएम
नहीं,
दिखाना चाह रहे हैं?
मेरा कंसर्न क्या था कि अपना इनकम टैक्स ऑडिट के लिए भी हम बैलेंस शीट डेट वही रखते हैं, वी डोंट कीप टू डिफरेंट बैलेंस शीट डेट्स।
यस यस
करेक्ट।
यस।
तो टिल लास्ट ईयर तक क्या था, अपना सितंबर फर्स्ट वीक में ही बैलेंस शीट साइनिंग डेट रहता है और यूडिन भी जनरेट हो जाता है। इस बार बिकॉज ऑफ द इशू ऑफ कोविड वी वर नॉट एबल टू finalize the balance sheets. Now I have been able to finalize the balance sheet in October 25th, say for example.
ठीक है।
अभी 25 अक्टूबर को अगर मैं डेट डालता हूँ तो is it a valid date for both
Yes, it is valid. Yes, it is valid.
AGM
Because I am assuming that last year you done your AGM after 30th
yes.
June. Yes.
My last year AGM was in October.
Okay.
Sorry, 30th September.
30th September. Okay.
So
There is
that
no
is a
issue
valid
as
date.
such. Yeah, it is valid. 25
That is
October
valid.
2020 is valid date for the both compliance, for tax compliance, for the ROC compliance.
Okay, okay.
As Chaudhary sir told you, in your case, due date of AGM will be 30th December 2020.
Yes.
Okay. And if you do the 25th October is your date of signing, and from in next 25 days you can issue the notice for the AGM.
Correct.
ओके, तो 25 तारीख को आपकी जो बैलेंस शीट साइन हो रही है, फिर आपने 25 दिन का नोटिस दिया, तो 31 तारीख को अपना आप एजीएम में आराम से कर सकते हैं। इवन आप अपना एजीएम 30 नवंबर को भी कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज 25 अक्टूबर से लेके 30 नवंबर तक आपके अराउंड मोर देन 35 डेज बन रहे हैं आपके।
यस सर। तो
कोई
इसका
इशू नहीं
इम्पैक्ट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर 2021 में कुछ इम्पैक्ट होएगा? फिर
थोड़ा सा इम्पैक्ट आएगा, वहां पे इम्पैक्ट आएगा इसका। बिकॉज देखो, अगर आपने 25 अक्टूबर को इस बार करी है आपने, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर की जो एजीएम होगी, देखो उसके दो रूल होते हैं कि एक तो एवरी ईयर एजीएम होनी चाहिए, वो जनरली वो रूल तो बड़े इजीली कंप्लाई हो जाता है। अब जो नेक्स्ट एजीएम नेक्स्ट है आपका, वो 15 महीने का मैक्सिमम गैप होना चाहिए आपका। वो बोलता है मैक्सिमम गैप होना चाहिए, वो मिनिमम की बात नहीं करता आपसे। ठीक है, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर की एजीएम आप 30 सितंबर को भी कर सकते हैं नेक्स्ट ईयर।
ओके 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 ओके, फाइन सर। बस वही
राइट सर, मैं ठीक बोल रहा
हूं? बिल्कुल ठीक है। तीसरा ये भी रूल है ना कि विद इन 6 months ऑफ द क्लोजिंग ऑफ अकाउंट्स।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
तो इसलिए जो आपका 21 का अकाउंट्स है वो 31 मार्च को बंद हो जाएगा, तो 30 सितंबर 2021 ही होगी डेट। तो वही रखनी पड़ेगी।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू विजय, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। So friends, I am going to discuss with some of the key points in tax audit. As you know that we all are engaged in tax audit nowadays. So I am just sharing with you some of the key points. So friends, I am starting with point number 1. So friends, generally many companies increase their share capital during financial year. If I talk to financial year 2020, because right now we are doing the tax audit for financial 2020. So in case if you found that there is any increase the share capital during financial 2020, so that means that increase is possible through ROC only. In that case, you have paid some fees to ROC, including the stamp duty. So friend, this kind of expenditure generally companies and other companies that. But as far as income tax point of view, this expenditure is treated as the capital expenditure. There is a case law of the Supreme Court also, which confirm that this ROC expense and stamp duty will counted as a capital expenditure. It will not treated as revenue expenditure. Henceforth, now it is settled law. There is no ambiguity available on this. So whenever you found that there is any increased capital by the company, so the trigger should automatically be raised that there should be some ROC fees also. So try to capitalize that during your tax audit and try to disallowed in your income tax computation. So friends, many times I also face one important question also, that sir, if I reported each and everything correctly in the tax audit report, but management when filing their income tax return and when preparing their income tax computation, they are not disallowed such particular expenditure. So who is liable for that? So friends, I want to clear here that being a chartered accountant, being a tax auditor, we are not liable for ITR filing of any. Our assignment is basically for the tax audit report. So we are required to just report all such expenses, all such disallowances in the tax audit report. If the management is not disallowed such expenditure while filing their income tax return, we are not such liable for that. But nowadays, from last 2 and 3 years, income tax department while processing income tax return in section 143 1A, they are matching the things from income tax and from the 3CD. So if any expenditure is disallowed in 3CD and a similar entry is not available in ITR, then assessee get the notices in 143 1A, and somehow if and there is no proper explanation available for that when ITR process in 143 1, the demand comes. So I think this point is clear to you, all of you, that being a tax auditor, we are not liable. What the client is filling in their ITR, we are only responsible for the our reporting point of view, which is that in report. So, friends, one more thing I asked by many professionals that, sir, during when we do some tax audit and mistakenly we have mentioned some incorrect information in tax audit. So, can we revise it, and what will be the due date of revising a tax audit report? So, friends, as per Income Tax Act, generally we do all kind of audit in 44AB, and 44AB there is no such time limit for revising our tax audit report. Somehow it is also because tax audit is linked with your ITR. As you all know that whenever we need to file the ITR, it asks the detail of the tax auditor. So tax audit report somehow is a link with the ITR. So we generally and practically link the due date of revising and filing with the ITR only. So up to the date we can file the ITR, the similar date will applicable in case of tax audit also. So friends, if I talk about financial year 2020, as we know that 31st October 2020 is the last date for filing tax audit report. Okay. And 30th November is filing ITR report, and 31st March 2021 is the last date for filing the ITR. Accordingly, tax audit report can be filed up to 30th March 2021. So as the due date of filing ITR, accordingly, tax report is also can be filed up to that date only. And friends, there is no such harm to correct the information if later on you found anything wrong and miscorrect in your tax audit report. There is no such parameter that based upon the revision of tax audit, your case will come into scrutiny and all. Okay, because as we know that every year CBDT issues some circular in which they decided the point on this on which points your matter will come into scrutiny, and the revision of the ITR or revision of the tax audit report is never be a point for such selection of the scrutiny. If any point of time you found that this there is any kind of misstatement or incorrect thing you have filed in your tax audit report, just revise your tax audit report. There's no harm in that. One more thing I want to add here that friends, whenever you revise your tax audit report, kindly generate a UDN again, because whatever UDN you have generated earlier, such UDN is particularly belong to your original return. Whatever thing we have revised in our later tax audit report, we are required to obtain the fresh UDN of that. So I think this is a point which is where is many questions raised by many professionals. Do we require to raise the UDN for the revised tax audit report? The answer is yes. Recently, some of the friends are also discussing that so do we require to generate the UDN for filing the ROC forms? The answer is yes, friends. On all forms where we are putting our digital signature and we are certifying such forms, we are required to obtain the UDN. And whenever we are providing the hard copy to the client, in that case, UDN should be mentioned on the form. And if you are mailing the soft copy to the client, UDN should be provided via mail, by writing in the mail. Because friends, the purpose of putting this thing, sometimes we are required to submit some form to the banks for the purpose of changing the authorized signatory and other things. So if we are mentioning about UDN, it is easy for the banker to trace it and check it. whether is it duly certified by chartered accountant or not. Therefore, in all the ROC form where we are doing our certification, the UDN is mandatory and UDN is compulsory. One more thing I will add here for the tax audit point of view. Might be we have also discussed in last meeting, but I found it very useful and majority of the things are depend upon this. Friends, whenever we are mentioning about 43B in our tax audit report, where we are required to mention the ESI, PF payments, many of our friends are mentioning their complete amount, consolidated amount. Although in tax audit, we are required to mention the employee contribution only, whether it is belong to the ESI or whether it is belong to the PF. Therefore, whenever we are finalize our tax audit report, kindly note that and segregate. Many times when we ask the client, he provide the information in a consolidated manner. That means employee share and employer share are consolidated, and we generally fill the same information in tax audit report. The consequence of this, friends, if there is any delay, that complete amount will become disallowed. Although for the employer share in 43B, we can pay it up to the due date of filing ITR, but employee share somehow we are required to deposit up to the due date of respective act. Therefore, it is paramount important to segregate both the amount, and we should mention the employee share only in the tax audit report, not the employer share. Therefore, if there is any delay, then only employee share will get disallowed. Employee share will not get disallowed. And friends, simultaneously, we are also required to mention such disallowance in our income tax return also, because I found in last 2 years many notices come from the CPC Bangalore. They are objecting that expenses contribution of employee deposited late in respect to respective act, but not disallowed in the ITR. So this is a very easily traceable point, and later on you are required to pay interest also if there is a outstanding demand in this case. So these 2 points are very important when we are doing the tax audit. So I want to discuss this point. Might be next week, because somehow we are presuming that this audit report audit date will definitely be increased, extend, and in first week of November we are also planning a session on the point wise discussion on the form 3CD. So on before that, we will also try to share some more points related to tax audit, which are important and we should keep in mind by whenever we are filing our tax audit report. Uh, so, Sachi, do you want to add something?
Yeah, one thing I want to say that in this revision of return or revision of tax audit report, there is no such criteria that it will be taken up for scrutiny. But whenever the case is taken for scrutiny, the first thing that assessing officer will do, that he will, because he has both the returns available. He has original return, he has revised return also. So he will ask you to reconcile the revised return with original return, and he will also ask why you revised the return. So that explanation we should be ready.
And so, sir, in case of tax audit report, whenever we are revising, there is even box. In that box, we are required to explain the reason also in tax audit especially. But there is no such option available in the income tax return. But in tax audit, we had a separate box to revert with give the
Yeah,
basic reason.
that's right.
Yeah.
In old days, when manual returns were being filed, when we used to revise the return, we used to write a letter and annex to the
Intimate the department.
return.
Yes.
But now that facility is not that is not available there. Then there is another question people ask, that whether the statutory auditor is required to do tax audit, or any chartered accountant can do it. So, what is your opinion?
So, sir, in my view, a statutory auditor
So
can
here
do
the
the
reply is that any chartered accountant.
yes, any chartered accountant can do the tax
Yeah.
audit, but somehow if a statutory audit do the tax audit, he is more comfortable on the books of accounts, and while doing the statutory audit, they also prepare the annexer for the tax audit. So if we talk about the company point of view, it is less expensive. The cost will become lesser for the tax audit if statutory will do the tax auditor also, because while doing statutory audit, he will prepare all the annexes of tax audit simultaneously, and company's burden will also reduce. Okay, because somehow it is presumed that a statutory auditor is also somehow required to comply with the important income tax provisions. Okay, so although reply of Chaudhary sir question is that any chartered accountant can do the tax audit, because I myself is the tax auditor of many company where I am not the statutory auditor. So there is no debar over that, although anyone can do.
So,
But yes, it's,
Sangam, basically, it can be done by any chartered accountant, and that appointment of tax auditor is by the board,
yes.
whereas statutory auditor is by AG. So, and it is customary for so many companies which have big four or big firms accountant as statutory auditor, because their statutory auditor is required to by the foreign counterparts or somebody. So they have to keep those people as statutory auditor, but there is no such compulsion for the tax audit. So in most of the cases where the big four are statutory auditor, the tax audit is not valid. So
Okay. So conclusion is that tax audit can be done by the any chartered accountant.
Yeah.
So I think our new member Kushal Agarwal ji join us. So firstly take his query, then we continue our deliberation. Kushal ji, welcome and very good afternoon to you. You can ask your question.
Very good afternoon. Just one question. The question is relating to the gratuity. Like the Act says, if there are 10 or more employees in the company, the provision of gratuity becomes applicable. So,
yes.
Are the directors also included in the number of 10 or more employees? Like there is one director who is getting paid under as a remuneration, and TDS is deducted under 194J, and RCM on GST is also complied. So will he be covered under the limit, or will he be excluded from that limit?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, do you want to take this question? I think there is some issue in my internet connection.
I am able to listen to you.
Okay, you are able to listen to me. Okay. Chaudhary sir, are you listening to me? Okay. Kushalji, as far as my understanding, what we have handled practically, directors and key manager personnel are also employee of the company. Although somehow we have differentiate in the head in the balance sheet. Somehow we say it is a remuneration to the director, this kind of thing we use. But for gratuity point of view, director are also included in the limit of 10 employees. This is my view, and we can take the views of Chaudhary sir also. Chaudhary sir, kindly unmute yourself. Chaudhary sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Can you repeat the?
Yeah, I repeat the question. For the applicability of
there is
Gratuity Act,
some technical problem in connection.
Chaudhary sir,
I couldn't hear the.
yes.
Can you repeat the question?
I am repeating, sir. I am repeating. For the applicability of Gratuity Act, there is a limit of 10 or more employees. Is directors are included in such limit or not? Because directors are also getting some salary from the company, and their TDS is deducted under 194J, and GST is also paid under reverse charge.
They are getting remuneration or salary?
What is difference between remuneration and salary?
194. If they are getting that professional fee, 194J will come there only, na?
Yes, same. We have to.
If they are whole time, if that director is a whole time director.
Sorry, sir. In this case, they are getting consultancy charges because if you are directing TDS under 194J, not
So
in 192, so that in that case, it is the professional charges. It's not the salary. So it will not include in the limit of 10. But if you are directing TDS in 192, then it will include.
It is not applicable, no?
I think there is some issue at your connection at your level. So, sir, your voice is cracking again and again.
Yeah, there is something wrong with the connection.
Yes. So in my views, I am expressing my views that in case there is a deduction of TDS in 192, then directors will include in the limit of 10. Otherwise, if we are deducting TDS in 194J and they are getting some consultancy charges or professional charges, in that case, it will not include in the limit of 10 because it will not treat it as employee in that case.
Okay. One more question in addition to this only, Sangam sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Shall I?
Yes, please ask.
So I am saying, like, if there are 4 directors, 2 are getting the remuneration in form of 192 and 2 are not withdrawing any kind of remuneration, like neither professional fees nor the remuneration. So will those 2 directors will also be fall on the number of limits like 10?
I think yes.
Only director who are employee will come under that.
Okay.
Which director will come under as an employee? Sorry, sir. Those who are getting salary in the 192. Somehow, I think connection is not there. In my opinion, whenever you are paying salary, then it becomes the employee of the company. If you are paying salary in 192, it becomes the employee of the company and count in the limit of 10. If you are not paying any amount, whether in 192 or in 194J, in that case, it will not treat it as an employee of the company for the gratuity point of view. Although Kushalji, it is not so much clear in anywhere in the act. Whatever we are expressing, it is based upon our practical exposure we have get in last 10 to 15 years. So based upon that, I am giving my answer to you.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any other question?
One more question.
Yeah,
like
Sangam, I agree with you.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can write in chat box also.
म्यूट हो गया ना उनका
नहीं हुआ
no
yes Vishal ji.
So I am saying, like, for 2018-19 there is one statutory auditor for a company. However, for that company the tax audit is still not filed, and now on appointment of the new auditor, can the new auditor who has joined as an auditor for 1920 can sign the tax audit of 2018-19, because tax audit anyhow to be done on the current date, like date of uploading of the tax audit is deemed to be the date of filing of the tax audit. So I am saying, like, for 18-19, although the tax audit is not done, so the current auditor who is appointed for the 1920, can he file the tax audit for 18-19 as well?
Yes, because there is no provision for appointment of statutory auditor as a tax auditor, so he can do the tax audit as well for financial 18-19. Although for financial 18-19 he was neither a tax auditor or not a statutory auditor earlier, but now if he is appointed for 1920, then he is eligible to do tax audit of the past years also. There is no such provision anywhere.
Okay.
I think Chaudhary sir his net connection is comfortable now. Chaudhary sir, Kushal sir, earlier question is that suppose in company there is 6 directors and there is a 4 employee. Okay, 4 एम्प्लॉय मतलब वो डायरेक्टर नहीं है, वो बस एम्प्लॉई है, उनको सैलरी मिलती है टाइमली अपनी। अब 6 डायरेक्टर में से 2 डायरेक्टर है जिनको सैलरी बिल्कुल नहीं मिलती है, 2 डायरेक्टर जिनको 192 में सैलरी मिलती है, बाकी 2 जो डायरेक्टर है उनको 194 जे में उनको रेम्युनेशन मिलता है या कंसल्टेंट चार्जेस मिलते हैं, मतलब ये। तो अब फॉर ग्रेचुइटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जिनको सैलरी बिल्कुल नहीं मिलती है, क्या वो काउंट होंगे?
नहीं काउंट होंगे।
ठीक है। अब जिनको
नहीं
194
काउंट होंगे,
जिनको 194 जे में इनका टीडीएस कटता है, वो काउंट होंगे?
तो वो भी नहीं होंगे।
तो साहब जी, तो आपका करेक्ट सही है कि जिनको आपने 192 में सैलरी दी, बिकॉज क्या होता है कहीं ना कहीं सैलरी मिलने से ही एक एम्प्लॉय का रिलेशनशिप स्टेब्लिश होता है। तो अदरवाइज बाकी वो दोनों केसेस आपके बाहर हो जाएंगे, इसको सैलरी नहीं मिली है या 194 जे में इनका टीडीएस कटा है।
Okay. And one more thing, like if the employees of the company give a declaration that they will not require gratuity, and at the same time company is giving their employees a super hike, like so in that case, can we bypass the provisions of gratuity?
In my opinion, not. It's not possible because there is no such provision in Gratuity Act. Baki Chaudhary sir will give put more light on this point.
Gratuity is a statutory liability,
Yes.
so it cannot be bypassed.
Yes. Suppose you say that employee give me return that don't deduct my TDS, I will pay my income tax myself. That doesn't escape the liability of a company. In a similar fashion, gratuity is a statutory liability of the company. Company has to pay. But if employee says that I am not required to receive, so in that case, company is required to pay. Employee will receive, and thereafter he will whatever do he want to do, he can do with it. So
Okay.
company's liability will not escape.
And last question, sir. Is it mandatory to get a valuation done via actuarial only?
For the purpose of gratuity calculation?
Yes.
Yes. If gratuity act is applicable on your company, in that case, gratuity valuation from the actuary is a must. I found many statutory auditors are not making any point in their audit report. Even then, there is no valuation by the actuary. So it is must that we get the actuary report and accordingly provide provision in books of accounts. It is must.
That's all from my side, sir. Thank you, Chaudhary sir. Thank you, Sangam.
थैंक यू। आई वांट टू ऐड वन पॉइंट कुशाल जी हियर। अगर अभी आपकी 10 की लिमिट पूरी नहीं हुई है, उस केस में आपको कोई वैल्यूएशन की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, कोई प्रोविजन बनाने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है। आप उस पे नोट्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में लिख सकते हैं कि कंपनी अभी रिसेंटली इनकॉर्पोरेट हुई है या फिर कंपनी के टोटल एम्प्लॉय अभी 10 से कम है, इसलिए ग्रेचुइटी एक्ट उससे एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता। लेकिन जिस दिन ग्रेचुइटी एक्ट में मतलब जितना ग्रेचुइटी एक्ट एप्लीकेबल हो गया, 10 से ऊपर एम्प्लॉय हो गए, वो नोट भी आपको हेल्प नहीं करेगा। आपको कहेंगे प्रोविजन बनाना पड़ेगा, और कंपनी ने अगर वैल्यूएशन नहीं कराई है, प्रोविजन नहीं बनाया है, तो समहाउ सिर्फ नोट से काम नहीं चलेगा, आपको स्टैट्यूटरी रिपोर्ट को क्वालिफाई करना पड़ेगा। दिस इज द समहाउ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ
You read the AS 15.
यस, इन AS 15 को आपने फॉलो नहीं किया है तो आपको क्वालिफाई करना पड़ेगा ऑडिट रिपोर्ट को। So take some questions more. Sunny ji, do you have any other question to discuss? Sunny ji, do you have any question?
Not now.
Not now. Okay. And Brijesh ji, do you have any question to discuss?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Okay. So sir, do you have any other point to discuss?
Nothing.
Chaudhary sir?
No.
It's all. Okay. So we can friend conclude our today's meeting, and next Wednesday we will meet again at 12 to 1, where we will try to resolve your queries. And I request all the participants, you can share the detail of this session with your other friends also, so that we can have a different kind of queries. And somehow, if we speak the query of one person, it definitely help to increase the knowledge of the other person also. So it is very helpful for us if you share the link of this session with your other friends also, so that maximum professional can participate in this. With this note, I am concluding and signing off today's meeting and next meeting also. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you.